Welcome back, Mongo Fix. Well, Mongo was working on a old Tahoe and found a beautiful set of nice LED headlight bulbs by Oxbeam. Mongo never heard of them. They seem pretty fancy, so Mongo's buddy at the yard said, go ahead and just take them. With a deal like that, you can't say no. So Mongo's going to show you how to change out some headlight bulbs on an '03 Tahoe or Suburban or Silverado or Sierra or, any of your standard GM heavy trucks. Mongo don't think GM ever had a better design than this for getting the headlights out and replacing bulbs. You start with these little pins. Turn that one 90. And that one 90 just to get them out of the little retainer. Then these pins slide up and out. Just set them aside. Now Mongo's got a battery just up there, so don't short it across the battery. But with those pins out, this whole headlight is now free to wiggle out. And there we have the whole headlight. Now it's super easy to get to both bulbs. There's one bulb right down here and one bulb right here. There's no finagling inside the car to try to get behind. There's no panels to take off. You pull the two pins, slide the whole headlight out, and that's it. Now which one of these is the low and which one of these is the high? Simple way to find out. Turn the car on and see. So we can see that this one is our low beam, and the inside one is our high beam. Just about all these headlight bulbs from GM come out the same way. Most all of them are a twist to the left, and the holes align, a little bit of a wiggle. You always need a little wiggle just because it's all plastic, and you pull the headlight right out. These are tungsten bulbs, so there's a little tungsten filament inside a glass bulb. To remove the bulb, undo this little clip in the back and wiggle the bulb off the connector. Be careful not to put your fingers on the glass bulb. It can ruin the little coating on it. So always wear some gloves. And if these have been running for a while, they'll be really hot. The other one comes out in a similar fashion. Twist to the left, little wiggle. And comes right out. One thing Mongo find interesting is this is the stock bulb. Just a tungsten filament. No heat sink needed. This is an LED bulb. It's super efficient LEDs, right? It's 9 to 32 volt DC and 8,000 lumens. That's a really bright bulb. It's so bright and makes so much heat that it has to have an aluminum heat sink along with a little fan in the back of it to cool the heat sink. Just interesting for a super efficient LED bulb. And then this LED bulb, still 9 to 32 volt DC, only 4,000 lumens, but it also needs a big aluminum heat sink because that bulb makes a ton of heat. The connectors for these are basically the same, so they'll plug into any position. These don't necessarily say they're a direct replacement for a 9006 or a 9005. The low beam has a slightly larger hole for the bulb than the high beam. So one of these bulbs has a slightly smaller O-ring. If you look straight down at them, this one is a little bit bigger than this one. So this one goes in the low beam position. This is the 8,000 lumen LED with the fan. It goes in the low beam position. To get this big honking heat sink in there, we'll have to take this bracket loose. So these top two, of course this is upside down, so these bottom two screws will have to come out. Be real careful with this plastic bracket. These two screws you just gotta loosen. These steel screws will wreck the plastic really quick, and this plastic will wreck real quick in your hands if you're not careful. You don't want to adjust too much of these brackets. You can loosen this up though real good. And then this bulb has just enough room to squeeze in there, and then tighten her up. You want to make sure when you look inside there that LED is just about up and down. This one is real close, but it's hitting that stop. Tighten up these bottom two, You don't want to go too tight, because again, the screws will wreck that plastic real quick. Don't cross thread those. Now our other bulb is much easier to slide in. It's just the wrong position. And so they're both in all the way, just about straight up and down. Now we can reconnect our connectors. And with these leads coming off, we get a little bit more wiggle room for the harness. And we can wiggle the light back into position. You do have to watch your harnesses now though, because you got a little bit of extra space. Make sure they get tucked back there real good. And then just slide your pins back in. All the way down. And then just turn them 90 degrees back into their retainers. And that's it for changing headlight bulbs. Well, you can see the one on the right is much whiter and brighter than the original tungsten one. And the same with the bright. Much brighter. So Mongo's going to get the other side changed out. And tonight, we'll see how much difference there is. Well, hopefully this video will help you. If you got some headlight bulbs you got to replace in your truck, whether or not they LEDs or regulars, up to you, but pretty simple process. Well, if you like this video, be sure to like this video. If you like this video and other videos from Mongo Fix, be sure to subscribe. Mongo is working on all sorts of stuff. Mongo, thank you.